everyone. Welcome to a Cherry on Top's November Hop. For the month of November, we have a kind of a prompt as opposed to like a product or a technique. So the hop theme for November is gather. So I'm going to kind of address that two ways. First of all, I have some group photos. I'm going to a scrapbook of me and my nieces and my nephews. And then I'm also going to create little gatherings on my scrapbook page for today. So the products I'm using are from Forever Fields by Maggie Holmes. I noticed that there is still quite a bit of this collection available over at a Cherry on Top, and it's one of my absolute favorites. Plus, I think it has some really nice like fall undertones. Like it's kind of like the tones and the designs. It could definitely work for fall layouts without being too like all in with the pumpkins and the scarecrows and the corn, all that. So I thought I would use that today. I'm going to do a layout that has 3 photos, and it is going to kind of sort of be almost like a grid, but not quite. And we are going to, let's just get started. I'm taking the white borders off of my photos. I have 2 3x4 photos, and then one is a 4x6, but it has a rather large, as you can see, white border around it that I'm just going to trim off. So it comes down to almost being like 3.5x5, more like. For each of the photos, I'm starting with scraps. So I'm not cutting into any large 12x12 sheets of paper except for the background paper, which is that gorgeous golden wood grain. I am creating mats around my photos, but these mats are not, they're not even. So I'm going to make them kind of off center. They're going to just look like I gathered together a whole bunch of papers and kind of layered them up or gathered them together behind my photo. Each of the papers for each of the photos I am using, I am going to rough them up using a Tim Holtz distress tool. And then I'm going to, as you can see, offset my photos and add some vintage photo distress oxide ink to create these kind of roughed up layers and mats behind my photos. I'm also not using any kind of measurements. I'm just kind of cutting them off, cutting them however. And I'm using different patterns for each of the photos. So I'm kind of staying away. I want to use different patterns for each layer of each of the photos. And I have lots of kind of half sheets of paper and things from this collection that will allow me to do that pretty easily. Once I have all of the layers behind my photos, to adhere these photos down, I am not adhering them on the edges. I'm just putting my tape runner into just the middle of the photos because we're not done gathering yet. I am also going to take all of these different die cuts and stickers, and we're going to create little gatherings around each of the photos, almost like each of them are their own tiny little embellishment cluster. I'm starting with the ephemera pieces because those are my largest elements, and I want to make sure that I can get the ones that I really want to use onto my page. I absolutely love these little silhouettes that come in the die cut pack, and I decided I really want to lean in and use 3 of those little silhouettes. So as I go through the die cuts, I'm going to see if I have enough to put 1 in each of these clusters, and spoiler alert, I do. I'm also cutting some of these large flowers in half. I think that they're really large, and I don't need flowers that big for this particular layout. So I'm going to cut them in half, and that way I can use them in 2 different places, tuck them in, tuck them around. around each of the photos. I'm going to add I want to use this vellum piece for my title family. And then there's a clear sticker in the sticker book that says Dearest. So I decided I want to pull those two together and create the title being Dearest Family. The way that I'm going to get that vellum onto a background, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that vellum is see-through, and I'm going to put that large kind of leaf die cut behind it. And I just put teeny tiny drops of glue right where the black family was behind the vellum. I was able to do this because I use Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and I have that precision nozzle, which is like my most favorite thing ever these days. And I was able just to get the glue, tiny little bits of glue, just where it says family. I am adding some little elements from the sticker sheet. I have some borders and also some phrase stickers that I want to use. And you can see that I was able to go ahead and find 3 of those little silhouettes that were facing the right way and were the right gender and such to use on each of my layouts or each of my photo clusters. So I'm just going to go through and adhere all of this down. I did cut in half a lot of the florals because they were just peeking out and around. This is a really nice design, photo design, page design, to be able to add lots of little bits and pieces. You end up with something that looks very, layered and gathered and clustered, but not super busy, which is always kind of my MO, I guess. It's what I really like. I really like layers and clusters and things all pulled together, but then I don't like my overall page to be too full of stuff, if that makes sense. I'm going to come in lastly with some of the clear stickers from the sticker sheet for last little details. I did want to make sure to add things like a label so I can date my photographs. I added a little phrase sticker to each of these little clusters. There were these really cute phrase stickers. And it's a little hard to see, but I went in with some of the clear gold foil stickers and added just little pops of that gold foil around each of these gathered clusters. I love these little cameras. I wanted to get at least one into this page. There's also some larger cameras that are die cuts, and I think I really, really want to use those as well for another scrapbook page. So I'm just going through everything. I'm trying to kind of find those last little bits and pieces that I want to use, the little stickers. Again, I really want each of these gatherings behind the photos to be really full and really layered. I want you to be able to kind of see everything, but also like see things, things that you see when you first look at the page, but then kind of find little details like those gold foil flowers that aren't 100%, bright and bold, but are more subtle, kind of layered up. I love this little circle piece that says love, and I just cut it in half so it kind of fit and nestled in there really good well. And then lastly, there were all these cute little like different colored hearts on the sticker sheet, and I thought those would be perfect little confetti pieces to kind of sprinkle around. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a couple little clusters of those confetti pieces to different areas. And that is where we are going to call this layout all done. Be sure to head down to the description box. This is a YouTube hop, so you will be able to find down below a whole list of amazing scrapbookers and other paper crafters that are creating projects around this theme of gathered. You can hop along and leave a comment. One person will win a $25 gift card if you comment on all of the videos along the hop. That's kind of why I made mine a little bit on the shorter side. Well, I tried to anyway. I tried not to ramble. So be sure to head down to the description box so you can hop along and check out all of the beautiful projects that are being featured today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.